Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing we're going to be talking about what makes attackers good in FIFA, right? So attackers can basically mean anything. I would consider a cam an attacker as well. So cams, strikers, center forwards, left wings, right wings, so on and so forth. So we're going to be looking at the different characteristics of players, and you're going to be looking at the players that are going to be the most ideal for you, right? So when it comes to strikers, right, in the past, when I reviewed them, I always used to talk about how there just isn't any good strikers, right? So a couple of players that people will name at the top of their heads are players like Aubameyang, right? So if I review Aubameyang's card, the pace on his card isn't very noticeable because of his low dribbling stats, right? So with 95 pace, the reason why people are weirded out by the fact that he doesn't feel like he's 95 pace is because of his dribbling stats, right? So people are going to be wondering, then why off the ball is he slow? The reason why he feels slow off the ball is because defensive AI is they kind of like warp to your players really quickly, right? So as you guys know, it doesn't matter who you're using. You can even be using like Neymar or Ronaldo. When you're through on goal, you're not technically always through on goal because the defense is going to catch up to them. So with Aubameyang's card, the reason why his pace doesn't feel so good is because of his low agility and his low balance. So this is the Player of the Month card. If you were to downgrade to just the rare gold card, he has 70 balance. 70 balance, right, with a 6'2" height is not ideal to have. If that is the case, right, you need to have the agility and dribbling stats to make up for the lack of or to make up for the fact that he is 6'2". That's why he doesn't feel as fast, because for him to get going, he doesn't even feel like he's 93 acceleration. You'll notice that's not really quickness, right? Like Insigne will accelerate quicker, although I think Insigne does have like decent acceleration too. So let's just search up Insigne's regular card. So Insigne's regular card actually has 94, whereas Aubameyang has 93, right? So Insigne is only up by 1, right? But the thing about Insigne is that he's 5'4" with 94 agility and 93 balance. Even if he had 87 acceleration, he would still feel quicker on the ball in terms of the acceleration aspect than Aubameyang would, because Aubameyang's physique in game, right, makes him feel more sluggish, right? Is Aubameyang a good card in the game? Absolutely, because if we look at his card, right, other than the fact, right, that his agility and balance isn't very good, right, he's a good striker, right? He has the height, right? Again, the height, not too great because of the lack of agility and balance. And then he has the acceleration, sprint speed, right? That's awesome to have. But his finishing is 87 and his composure is 84. Also very good with a 4-star weak foot. Now, the reason why I say that there aren't any good strikers in FIFA is because you're always missing something until you get to the stage of having someone like Ronaldo, right? So for instance, with strikers, that's the example of Aubameyang. He's going to feel like a truck on the ball. You can't avoid that, right? 70 balance with 76 agility is not a good thing to have. If his agility made up for the lack of balance, then the card could potentially be better, with better dribbling stats, because his dribbling in general sucks, right? So he's gonna feel like an absolute truck on the ball, right? So if we search up someone like, let's just search up someone that people always talk about, like players like Aguero, right? Aguero, there's things in your gameplay that you're going to be missing that would be ideal to have if you actually had them. That's why Ronaldo, CR7, although his balance sucks, he's still the bare minimum of what you need to be able to do everything you need him to do, right? With Sergio Aguero's card, I've used Sergio Aguero's card. Does he feel fast on the ball? Yes. But his off-the-ball movement is awful. The reason being for this, and this isn't more in regards to a lone striker rather than it is with a 4-1-2 and 2, and even in a 4-1-2 and 2, I don't like the card too much, right? In FIFA, right, physicality is a massive in this game. It's massive, right? If you have CDMs, even Conte's height, right, is a downfall of his card, right? But he makes up for it on the stats. But with Aguero's card, right, it doesn't really feel like he makes up for the stats. Because of the gameplay, most of the time being a little bit more sluggish, you will notice that his responsive time is a little bit better, but his physical aspect is not there. So you, one, can't cross the ball to him. You can, but you have to get lucky, right? It's always luck with crosses anyways. You can't necessarily accelerate into space. So basically, like, if you're just dribbling normally just with the left stick and then you use the dash button to accelerate forward, he will never outbody the defensive AI that is more effective against someone like Aguero, like someone like Ronaldo, or even Aubameyang with his taller physique, not necessarily big physique, just taller and thin. Aguero won't be able to do that for you. So those are certain elements of your gameplay that you're missing. Some people have recommended Timo Werner to me. Timo Werner, even the best version of his card, which is the second in form, still has 76 composure. Now, some people tell me, why don't you just give him a sniper card? So with the sniper card, you could see that it upgrades his sniper to 81 composure, right? And 99 finishing. Now, the thing you'll notice with the strikers is that, is it great that he has a 4-star weak foot? Yes. Is it sucky that he's missing that skill move? It does, because there are moments, right, where you want to do the backwards, it's McGeady spin or something. I always forget the skill move. It's the skill move they added 2 years ago. It's basically flick backwards, go upwards, flick backwards, go downwards. That skill move is very effective to get those finesse shot angles, right? Now, with Timo Werner's card, the thing that I always tell people, right, is that players, right, I do believe chemistry styles upgrade the players, not by this much, but I do believe that they get upgraded by a little bit. Now, with Timo Werner's card, right, a player's base card stats will always be more noticeable than the chemistry style that you give them, right? So why don't I like Timo Werner? First of all, I don't like that he's 76 composure. I've had players with 85 composure, 86 composure, still, you know, they still feel this defensive pressure and then they completely scuff the shots because finishing is a little bit odd this game. Composure is such an important stat in regards to dribbling with the ball, shooting with the ball, and defending without the ball, right? So with Timo Werner's card, the skill moves, really sucky situation. Is it great that he's 5'11", high medium with 81 jumping, 82 heading accuracy? It's fantastic, right? So as a cheaper version at 278k, it's okay, right? Shot power being low is a problem, right? So there's going to be certain areas where you're going to want the shot power to be higher so that, you know, that you can have a consistency with shooting. Because when your shot power is lower, you will take the same type of shot but get different results with different players depending on that shot power. Is his finishing good? Yes, but his composure isn't, right? And most of the time, because defensive AI is attached to your players, right, you want to have someone that has the good composure, has the good finishing, has the good shot power, agility, and balance to be able to counter what the defenders are doing, right? I can keep going with different types of strikers as to why they aren't good. Strikers need the pace, the shooting, the passing, the dribbling, and the physical capabilities to be able to do everything for you. So if we look at someone like Ronaldo's card, right? Ronaldo's card, Cristiano Ronaldo, we'll just look at the Champions League version. Actually, we'll look at the 94 version of the card. The card is essentially perfect, right? Because as a striker, you have someone who's high-low work rate. So if you keep him on balanced instructions, right, he will make those runs for you. But he will also add support for you because you don't tell him to specifically get in behind goal. Can you tell him to get in behind? Yes, you can, because with the high-low work rates, he will do it more often, right? But with the card, right, we look at it, and he basically has everything that you need. This is where the pay-to-win concept comes in, right? With Ronaldo's card, you're not missing anything but the lack of balance. But, right, he's 6'2", and he makes up for it because he has the 87 agility, right? That is what makes the difference between a card like Ronaldo and a card like Aubameyang. Aubameyang also has 79 dribbling, while Ronaldo has 88 dribbling. So that balance, is it noticeable in game? Yes, it 100% is, right? But his agility makes up for it, and his other stats make up for it. What do you have when you use someone like Ronaldo, right? You have the physical presence with 79 strength while having a big physique in game while being 6'2", right? You have the jumping presence, so when the ball's in the middle or you want to cross the ball, you can actually do it with him because he has 95 jumping with 89 heading, right? He has a staggering 95 composure with 94 finishing and 95 shot power with 93 long shots, and, you know, good composure with the finishing, blah, blah, blah. Awesome to have, right? So that is why I say that every striker sucks in this game, because EA have developed a game where specific stats are going to contradict other stats, right? If I look at other types of cards, people sell Serie A cards. Serie A cards, pretty typical, right? So Belotti's card, right? If I search up Belotti's card, just a striker card. Is this a good card? Yes. Is it going to cause you trouble? Yes, because there's going to be specific things that you're going to be missing with this card, right? Specific aspects that are going to be missing from your gameplay. He has a 5-star weak foot, which is fantastic. He has the high work rates, which is a little bit of a downfall depending on the play style that you play, right? So he's going to be more conservative in terms of making those runs. Is it a good thing that he's conservative? Yes. The reason why it's a good thing that he's conservative is because he's not the type of person to get in behind the team, right? So having the high work rates is decent with him. He has the shot power, he has a finishing, but he's lacking in the composure. So again, with this type of card, you would have to give him a sniper. Will it upgrade by this much? I don't think so, right? Because in game, these stats right here, right? If you're telling me that he gets 92 agility with 82 balance, with 82 composure, those stats are very noticeable on base card stats of other players, right? So when you give him a sniper card, you can't expect him to run. So that's an element of your gameplay that you're missing. You can't expect him to make too many runs in behind, another element of your gameplay that's missing, because he doesn't have high, medium, or high, low work rates. He has high work rates. So your build-up towards using a card like Belotti has to be slower, right? The bare minimum that you require is 4-star for skill moves and for weak foot. The reason why you need that weak foot to be at the bare minimum of 4-star is because of the shooting, right? The time finesse shots. Those things are very effective in this game. So you need to have a bare minimum of 4-star. Is it possible to shoot them with a 3-star weak foot? Yeah, if you guys have seen Spencer's and Taz's game, Zaha hit it with his left foot because time finesse shots are overpowered, right? Zaha wouldn't be able to hit that shot inside the box at a medium distance away from the goalkeeper doing a regular finesse shot, but he can do a time finesse shot because that specific mechanic is overpowered, right? So is it a good thing that a player like Belotti will be more conservative in their attack? Yes, because of his characteristics, right? Other cards that I've mentioned, right now, I'm using Heung-min Son. So Heung-min Son, I have to use him on 7 chemistry, so I don't get the full benefits of using someone like Heung-min Son, right? Heung-min Son's card, just as regular, this is the one I'm using, right? With a 7 chemistry upgrade, and I believe I put Hunter on him, right? Or Sniper, either or. These are the stats that you give. Things you will notice is his lack of agility and balance. He doesn't move like this on the ball, right? Does he have the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves? Yes, he does. Does he have the high work rates? Yes. That's fantastic to have as a left mid or a right mid, but not necessarily as a striker. Why am I using Heung-min Son as a striker in my EPL team? The answer to that question is because there is literally nobody else that I would like in that team. I can't use Aguero because he's too short and has no physical presence, but I need the physical presence based off of my own game style that I want to play. I can't use Aubameyang because he feels like a truck, way too slow on the dribbling. Son is slow on the dribbling, but he's quicker than Aubameyang, right? I can't use Lukaku because he's completely sluggish on the ball and takes way too long to dribble to certain spaces. I need to be able to make those extra passes, exploit the area of space behind the person's team, because that's the play style that I like to play, right? Or, you know, just getting that angle to hit that time finesse shot, because if your player's too sluggish to get into that angle, it's not ideal, right? So with Heung-min Son's card, is he good? Yes. Is he missing a lot of aspects? Yes, because again, he will always play to his base chemistry style. So his balance is bad, his agility is bad, considering that he is 6 foot tall, so he's not going to move as quickly on the ball, right? Attackers, right? So left wing, he's good. High work rates isn't too bad. High medium is pretty good. If we look at someone like Mane's card, do I love Mane's card? Yes. Is he missing specific aspects to his card? Absolutely. 80 composure in this FIFA is far too low. Long shots being low is far too low, because there are certain situations, right, where I need to be able to score and I can't because he's missing certain stats. Now, I might give him a sniper chemistry style upgrade so I can increase his composure. I don't think it's as much as possible because there might be one that actually increases it by 10. I could be wrong in saying that, but certain elements you're going to be missing with Mane's card, right? His shooting isn't perfect. There's certain times where he takes a shot and the 82 shot power seems like it's a lot, but it's inconsistent, right? So when you use a card, right, I'll show you guys an example. This card right here is probably one of the best examples of an attacker in this game that lacks the physical presence, right? Because this card right here, right, if you give him the required chemistry styles, right, to make him as good as possible. For instance, Hunter, that's what I would honestly give him. People would be like, oh, why would you give him Hunter? The reason being for that, right, is because you want to increase the pace and the shooting as much as possible, but it's not necessarily the finishing, it's the shot power, right? If you guys have ever tried Neymar on a Hunter chemistry style, this is what the supposed stat boosts are. But if you look, right, if you remove the chemistry style on Neymar's card, the card is essentially perfect except for the height and the physical presence. But when you don't have the height and physical presence, you have to make up for it in the dribbling. Salah is kind of similar, right? So if you look at Salah's card, Salah is kind of a similar situation, right? I don't need to upgrade his pace. I can give him a sniper chemistry style because his pace is already very good. But it'd be nice to increase it as much as possible, right? So that I don't have to increase his dribbling stats. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, if I were to go to Neymar, I'll try to repeat myself, right? If I go to Neymar, I technically don't have to give him a chemistry style upgrade. But the way that his base card stats is set up, it would just be awesome, right, to just give him a Hunter because his composure, dribbling, agility, balance on the ball is already phenomenal, right? So I don't have to upgrade those things, and I can make him the fastest I can possibly make him, right? So cards like this are game changers. If I'm using him as a left mid, he'll go up, he'll come back really nicely. He won't come back with urgency because he is high medium, but if I use a 4-2-3-1 on balanced instructions, he will definitely exploit that left side like an absolute monster. This card right here is definitely one of the best cards in this game. It literally game changing. The elements of things that are added to your gameplay when you have someone like Neymar is disgusting. I'm playing drafts, right? My last video, I think I may have been using Neymar. You guys see him on the sub bench, but I obviously sub him in instead of the person I was using at left wing. And the difference between a Neymar to a Mane to a Heung-min Son is just massive. It's huge, guys. These are the types of attackers you want to strive to get. And I know some people are going to be in the comment section saying, but what if we can't afford these players? It's not about whether you guys can afford them or whether you guys can't afford them. I'm just telling you what players you want to look for in the attack, right? Because there's going to be certain elements of your gameplay that's going to be missing when you don't have these types of cards. Obviously, you can still use Mane. I'm using Mane, Heung-min Son, my cam is Roberto Firmino. I might switch him to Zaha, to be honest. And then I'm using like right wing. Who am I using on the right wing again? Salah, right? Elements that are missing, right? I can show you guys my team right now. So let's just show some examples, right? Heung-min Son. What is Heung-min Son missing? Heung-min Son. I'll just go to his Champions League card. Heung-min Son is missing the quickness of dribbling on the ball because of his agility and balance is not balanced enough to his 6-foot height, so he's going to be dribbling really slowly on the ball. Nor is his composure high enough. If his composure was an 86 or 87, he would be better, right? So Roberto Firmino's card, thing that's missing about his card is that he doesn't have the pace. Even if, like I said, guys, I have Hunter on him, but he doesn't feel like that pace, right? Very, very noticeable on the cards, right? So with Roberto Firmino's card, I have Hunter on him. Doesn't feel that fast because his characteristic of being more of a sort of sluggish player, sort of, because 80 agility, 81 balance is not bad with 5'11", sort of heavy player, he's still not going to feel that fast, right? Someone like Mohamed Salah. Salah is a fantastic card. What is he missing, though? He's missing that weak foot, and he's missing, right, enough acceleration and sprint speed where I don't have to touch his card with a sniper, right? Because with the sniper or with a Hunter, right, you have to increase. I would probably just give him Hunter because his dribbling stats are already phenomenal, right? But it feels like in this year's game, you need to increase the composure as much as possible, right? But Hunter is obviously very good because you want to make him as fast as possible, also giving him the shooting stats, but he already has 91 composure, 91 agility, 80 and 88 bounce. The thing that's missing about this card, again, is physical presence. But like Neymar, he makes up for it, right, in other stats. What is he missing from Neymar, though? He's missing that weak foot that Neymar has, 5-star weak foot. I can start Neymar on the right side, and he'll take bangers for left foot finesse shots, right? Salah, if I'm into a certain situation, I can't really shoot a cross goal with his right foot and have it be consistent. He actually, I'm not sure if this trait is actually a thing in the game, but he actually prefers to use his left foot in a lot of situations. Even when I want to lay it off to the sides, Salah is still the type of guy that will pass the ball with his left foot instead of passing it with his right foot. Those are elements of your game that's missing, because if you pass it with his left foot in the inside, it gives the defender more of an opportunity to intercept it. But if he passes it with his right foot, it's more curving on the outside rather than it is curving more to the inside. Stuff like that is very noticeable when you're using these types of cards. So those are the types of attackers you guys want to use if you guys are looking for anything. I don't think any of the regular cards up until Ronaldo are good enough as cheap options, because there's always going to be something that you're going to be missing with those types of cards. But can you compensate for the lack of things that you're missing? You definitely can. I do. Everybody else does. There are cheaper options, but that's the characteristics you guys want to look for. Shorter version: height, weak foot, skill moves, physical presence, shooting, passing, dribbling, and pace. Is that obvious? Yes. But in regards to, are there players similar to Ronaldo? The comparisons can't be made between Aubameyang, Timo Werner. These cards are not similar to Ronaldo in any shape or form. Ronaldo will do things for you that nobody else will, right? Is he still going to be annoying with the balance? Yes, because in this year's game, more than any other game, it's very noticeable that his balance is low. But still a phenomenal card to use. But that is include the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Those are the best types of attackers, or the best things you should look for your attackers to make them as good as possible, right? So hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.